passion for cooking becomes an art form. Subscribe to Cooking and Travel by Dr. Papori Barooah.
Good evening everybody and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I would like to share before you a recipe which perfectly belongs to my father, Dr. K.C. Barooah. Now it so happened that when he was doing his medicals, he nearly always had this particular recipe, or in fact the dish that we are going to make, which is made with ingredients that is always there with somebody who stays in the hostel, for instance, or somebody who's alone, staying alone. Like we have something called the rusk, the eggs, of course, and some dry fruits might be, and of course just a cup of milk. Right? So we will start making before you a recipe, a favorite recipe of my father's, and I hope it will help you when you are very hungry and you want to have something special in a jiffy, you can say. So let's start cooking this particular dish which I call rusk caramel. In Assamese, can I call it kata biscuit or caramel pudding? So let's start cooking.
These are the simple ingredients that you'll need. Here I have taken around 5 rusk biscuits, or what we call in Assamese kata biscuit. And this is the main ingredient of the recipe. And here I have a cup of milk and some dry fruits like walnuts and cashew nuts, and of course some this is like raisins. I have just made a mixture of, in fact, put it in the grinder, some walnuts and almonds here, and I want the powder because my son actually doesn't like it when he eats it. As regards of sugar, you can just determine how much you want. I have taken here around 7 tablespoons of sugar, and when I'm making it, I'll determine how much I want it. And of course 1 egg, because it's sort of a pudding and I can make it a caramel pudding. And for the caramel, I need separately around 2 tablespoons of sugar and some water. So let's get cooking. First thing I have to do is that take the milk and then soak the pieces of the rusk, or in fact the biscuits, in the milk. This will take say around 7 or 8 minutes, and you wait for it to completely soak so that everything is ready to be prepared into this wonderful recipe. Meanwhile, choose a container where you're going to actually make the recipe, and then now we are going to caramelize the sugar. In a non-stick pan, first of all I'll put the sugar, and then of course I'll put say around 1 tablespoon of water there, and just caramelize the sugar as much as possible. If you want the caramelized portion to be more, you can give more sugar. Say I can increase the sugar to 1 more tablespoon. So I've increased the sugar to 1 more tablespoon there. And this, be patient, this will go on for quite some time, say around 4 or 5 minutes, constantly stirring till it gets the color of caramel there. So you can see the color is changing now. We have the foam there, and soon, in a second or two might be, we are going to have brown caramel there, which we actually want for our dish. As you can see, the color is changing to brown from white, and little more darker brown there, and then we are going to shut down the flame immediately and transfer it. See, it's almost getting brown there. Yes, but this is the time when we shut it down, and then we put it in the container we really want to make the caramel in. So this is the container, and I'm really now going to put in the caramel in this particular container, because it is here that I'm going to make my pudding. Alright, so this is a caramel pudding. Spread it across and let it solidify, if at all it will. So let it be there for some time while we work with our recipe. So after 10 minutes, this is how the rusk has become. Alright, this is softened up. So any more hard pieces, you let them soak say for another 2-3 minutes. Yeah, it's almost done. So this way, this is actually ready to go into the pudding. Next thing what we need to do is that take the egg and then give it a nice whisk along with the sugar. So I've taken the egg there, and now I'll put in some sugar, right? So the whole, say around 3 tablespoons of sugar that I put in, and give it a nice whisk. This particular mixture will now go into my the pudding, or in fact what I am talking about is the rusk there. Alright, this is the amount that's going in, all the dry fruits. This was followed by my father when he was studying in his medicals. Then he wanted to have something healthy, right, and something that was quick, and during those times they used to make their own food, right? So he used to make this and have for all the health qualities involved, right? So here the entire thing, the egg mixture, the dry fruits, everything has gone in. Now it's so simple as this. You give it a nice whisk, let everything come together. In the meantime, boil around 1 liter of water, more than 1 if you want, say a liter of water in a steamer, and then make it ready to accept this particular pudding, or in fact we can say it's a caramel that we are trying to make, but because we're adding the egg, it's sort of a pudding that, in fact, this is something anyone can have. If you're in the hostels, for instance, you can make something like this in your own, say a glass or something, and put it in a container containing water and steam it, and you're going to have your ready-made pudding ready. You can of course give up. You need not follow this particular step if you're in the hostel and you want to have something very, very fast. So as you can see here, it is solidified. And now I'm going to put in the mixture that I had used here. I just mixed up. This mixture goes in. The entire mixture goes in. And you can also put a pinch of salt if you like it. But here I have left that option out. And now I'm going to put it in a steamer. So I've arranged some water, hot boiling water, in the lower bottom. This is the way I've arranged my steamer here. And of course here I'll just cover it up and let it steam. You can, as I said, you can always put it in a container with boiling water and cover and cook in whatever container you're making it. So this will be, say, take around 20 minutes or so. In between you can check whether it's done. So let it steam on high flame for 20 minutes. Perfectly done and ready to be out. You can just put a skewer in, it'll come out straight and without nothing sticking onto it. So that's done. Your pudding, caramel pudding, is ready. This is how my kata biscuit or caramel pudding looks like. Doesn't it look yummy? Made with the simple ingredients that are available. Everyone has it at home, and you're going to have something that's delicious now. You can serve it chilled, or you can also serve it hot. This is how it looks once it's demolded. You see how yummy it looks, and all those raisins on top. It's giving you real temptation, isn't it? So that's my easy peasy rusk caramel pudding for you. Can be done with just 1 egg and with a minimal of ingredients. I hope you like this recipe of mine. Do give a like and a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching.